As a kid, I was crazy about airplanes. Every time a plane flew over, which back in the late 50s, early 60s was an event for me. In 1967, I was a licensed private pilot at age 17, and crazy to fly, but the only way I could fly would be was to rent airplanes in Calgary. In spring of 1969, this plane was parked on a little airstrip east of Calgary. One day a for sale sign showed up on it, and as I say, I twisted my mother's arm and got the extra cash I needed and bought this plane. It cost $2,700. This is about as simple as airplanes can be. It has no starter, no electrical system, so you start it by flipping the propeller by hand. Cruised at 83 miles per hour and burned 3.3 imperial gallons per hour of fuel, which was, really cheap. Although I was very sad to see this go, I was also happier to get the bigger, faster airplane, which I still have, by the way, the very same plane. I've owned two planes in my life. This is one of them.
I'd always my whole life wondered what happened to it. And so finally, years ago, I looked up the registration and found the registered owner in Saskatchewan and called him up. And he'd still had it, but he was 90 years old and said he'd sell it. And so my wife and I took a little trip out there to look at it and make a deal on it. And then went out a couple months later when the weather was good, my brother and I, and took it apart to bring it home. And glad we did, because 2 days after we left with it, he passed away. My son David's being a pilot too, and he drove out to the farm north of North Battleford to have a look at it, and had a look at the old logbook. And when he saw all those pages filled up by me with my signature when I was a crazy flying kid, he had to have it. So.